So this is the one where I will kill someone if they try and tell me that cornucopia wasn't on the Fruit of the Loom. All right, because for me, that's the only reason why I know what this is. That's the only reason why I know what a cornucopia is. I didn't know when I say know what it is. I didn't know what the name of that thing was until I asked somebody, "What is that behind the fruit?" And someone I remember telling me said to me, "That is a cornucopia." From that day on, I remembered the name cornucopia. So, and the other one just looks ridiculously odd. It looks to me like there's something missing from that image. So, as you all know, you know where I stand on this one. But Rory, what's your thoughts?
So for me, I'm not 100% sure
Mm.
if the one I'm not 100% sure if either of these images are correct.
Oh, you're going
If
deep
I'm
now.
honest with you.
You're going
No,
left. You're
But
going
you're saying there's a
completely.
bow there.
all I
Yes.
all I remember
He remembers a
is
bird in the background. Go on.
all I remember is that there was something brown in the background. I don't remember if it was actually this shape or
That's
this.
brown, bruv. That
Yeah,
is
but I
brown.
don't. But what I'm trying to say is, if someone said, "Oh no, there was never a cornucopia, but there was this," and that other thing
Well,
was
like a
a brown
jug.
object,
Okay.
anything, then I could be rocking with it. So I'm kind of
All right. Fair
yeah,
enough. And also, I feel like your age group, like, because for me, in my school days, I don't know about Sheg, this was everywhere. All of the boys in my school, their mums were buying them Fruit of the Loom. When I say all the boys, I mean all of the white boys. They all had Fruit of the Loom. Like, I didn't have Fruit of the Loom. My mum weren't buying me Fruit of the Loom, but I remember seeing this logo enough for me to know that that's something like that. That for some
yeah,
reason was
yeah,
like a brand. It was one of the first
Yep.
brands that I was aware of because
Yep.
everybody
yeah.
had Fruit of the Loom, especially for PE and all those kind of
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? They had their
That's
Just a
the
sweat
thing.
headbands.
top, just a sweat top with the
Yeah,
fruit
So
of
yeah.
the loom. Yeah.
for me, this logo, I stopped seeing probably when I was in like primary school times. So if
Okay.
someone equally said to me, "What are the colors in the NAF logo?" I couldn't tell you. I could tell you what the NAF logo probably looked like, but I couldn't tell you the arrangement of the colors.
Right.
So it's kind
Okay.
of like, yeah.
All right. That's fair enough. Shake, where you stand on this one?
Right. So I think you hit a point there when you said the age thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because I remember Fruit of the Loom, I had a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt, yeah,
Mm.
and it had a cornucopia on it. Now, I remember because Fruit of the Loom time, it was so far back in the day that high-tech boots were rocking the show.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, right. And then, but then when I did remember later on thinking that they'd changed the company because the quality of the actual clothing declined. Like
Mm.
Right.
now, it's not classed as a quality product.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, but back in the day, it was like a Fred Perry,
Yeah.
Mm.
something like that. So I thought in my mind before I knew about the Mandela Effect that the company had changed and they
They
changed the logo.
they just took the
And
cornucopia
that,
off. Okay.
yeah, and that was like a moody Fruit of the Loom because it
Mm.
didn't have the cornucopia because the quality was worse. That's the way I remember it. So
Mm.
that's it's weird. Do you know what I mean? But then I found out about the Mandela effect and that apparently it never ever had a cornucopia, and that's when I thought, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I do
Fair enough.
remember that a lot of people were using the Fruit of the Loom t-shirts to print on. Like their standard used to be the quality t-shirt that you would go to. If you're going to print up a blank tee and do
Yeah.
Yeah.
any kind of designer stuff, you would generally go in towards Fruit of the
Yeah.
Loom. But
And you know who
yeah.
else was doing that? Me. I was doing that when I was printing t-shirts. When I was living with Leon at one point, while I was
Mm.
printing t-shirts on Fruit of
Yeah.
the
With a
Loom.
loom. Yeah.
I
It's true.
know that it had a cornucopia. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is so nuts to me.